Hello everyone. So Rodrigo Toledo from DevPitt, and now let's try build Ruby on Rails front end application, Node.js as an API, React application, and these three applications having communication in real time. Okay, let's try something like that. So let's start with the Node.js. What we have. As you can see, I'm not using any kind of database, just figure data, right? And I have a shopping cart and a list of shopping cart items. Okay, just that. And let's access this here. This is what we have. Okay, in memory, not any kind of database. Okay, we have this endpoint and also a put method. We pass the ID. With this, we will find the card I if the card ID and change the status to paid. Just that. Okay. This is the same that okay, paid and save if we have any kind of database. Okay. Also, this application have the ID. It's possible to obtain the shopping cart based in ID. Let's try like this is what we have. Okay. Also the page, but I'm not using this, so forget. Okay, Node.js application with these endpoints. As you can see, shopping carts. And okay, let's take a look now in Ruby on Rails application here. So imagine this scenario. You have um, the entire team that have a Ruby on Rails application as a monolithic application, okay, this project, but now you change to consume using Node.js or another API. But you need to take in the first moment, you need to stay with the Ruby on Rails. What is your option? Well, why keep with Ruby on Rails for this application? Let's take a look. This is the Ruby on Rails application. Okay. Why keep with this in the first moment? Because you need to move to React or Next.js and you don't have time for this. Your front end is running, but now you need to consume an API. So basically we have the API, but the front end keep with Ruby on Rails. And now we don't have any kind of database here. tables, we just have the cable, cache, and queue schema, right? And let's take a look in the gems. As you can see, I have Brakeman, Robocop, Hoofo, Faker, Airspec, Factory, Ward, and Hack Course. And the most important, it is active resource. Basically, I change the models to resource. So why? Because with this, I can consume an endpoint, okay? And if I put something like that, will reflect in my endpoint with this ID and this method. So moving, change to an API, we have here pay, shopping carts, ID, pay, shopping carts, because here will be like something shopping underline shopping carts, something like that. And the method is pay, and I am using job to execute this. Why? Well, if I have my front end running and someone click here to pay, change this status to pay, but something is wrong with my API, or, well, we have different scenarios. This is the idea that I have. So I move to perform later, passing the ID, and now I have this job with that can find using this method, okay, and put using this endpoint. After that, I will find using shopping cart, okay, and dispatch with this method. And with this, I will replace using broadcast this shopping cart ID, and with this turbo stream from, sorry, this is the turbo frame, and the shopping cart itself, the object, in fact. Let's take a look in views. So I have here the index with turbo stream from, turbo frame text, and inside I have for each shopping carts, I have a parcel with turbo frame tag, and the DOM ID shopping cart will be something like a shopping cart and the number, okay, the ID. So let's try see if this is okay, if it's running. I will refresh, and as you can see, I have here my endpoint, and now I will change to paid. Well, nothing is happening. Why? Because as you can see, I am using the perform later job, so I need to start my job, and with this we'll run the active job. Okay, now let's take a look here. We have paid. And why this? Yeah, I am not using any kind of database, and why this data is changing to paid and not reload. with a new data, because in the first moment we generate here, and if I already have this with some value, I just return. When I put something like a pay, I change the status to paid and returning as successful. Okay, so Ruby on Rails is okay. I will change this too. Right, and now let's take a look in React application. As you can see, I will change here in my Ruby application in frontend that is consuming the API, and we change in React application. Whoa, this is amazing, right? Because as you can see, I have here, let's take a look at this. I will click here. This should be moved to paid. So I will click here, and now without reload, move to paid. Let's try understand how it is possible. So here I have my application. The entire application is using the browser holder to navigate. Okay, and when I have this shopping cart provider, I am using the TanStack React query, right? So let's try understand. The data is becoming from this method, okay? So data all cards. When I get dispatch this endpoint, the data will be here and pass to our cart. And this is an array of shopping cart. I have here my types using TypeScript. So product, price, quantity, the number. I have here the shopping cart that have consumer status and the items. Okay, and the possible status are pending or paid. Okay, so in the first moment, I have everything here. I dispatch this action with, and for in each 3 seconds have a polling again, but TanStack head query is smart tool to handle with refetch and pooling, because can handle with cache. If you have this package can understand if something is have the same content, okay? And the stereo time is something like will stop to think in 1 second. Well, I have painting cards using memo and all cards that have this status, okay? And the status is paid, okay? And now the provider. So what I should provide to my entire application is something like that you have using context API. If you have multiple providers, not just one, and you need to pass like a user status, um, the shopping cart items, or maybe products, you can have different providers consuming from from different endpoints. And I have here these possible values that will be shared in my application. So I will go for this, and now I will close here, and let's try see here. I have my index with this query client consuming the query client, and now I start the TanStack query provider. Now it's possible to use TanStack with React Query. As you can see, I have here the shopping cart provider, and inside of my page, I have this dashboard. Well, I have here my use shopping cart, right? Using this context. All these constants, I can use each here. So I have the pending cards, page, loading, and error. As you can see, the pending cards length, I try to call this component passing pending cards and paid cards. Um, let's try. I have title, count, to, and class name. Start sprout. Okay. I have the title here and the count. So what is the length of the pending cards? I share here in my provider the list. So this is the length. And the same for the paid. As you can see. And now I have the number here, the length of pending cards and paid cards. If I change something, because I am consuming using TanStack, so I will change something using Ruby on Rails frontend. The Node.js will change the position to paid, the cart item to paid, and using pooling, smart pooling with TanStack will consume again this position. Sorry, let's take a look here. Context here. And return the pending cards and these new values, right? So this is what we have. I will change here, change it without refresh. I will change this too. As you can see, I will change this code. Imagine this. You don't need to pass using map state props because your application have this collection. The all the collection of cards, the collection of pending cards, and collection of paid cards. If I change something in cards, the whole collection will reflect automatically in pending cards, right? So I will change this and now Chris here and link and the same here. It is have a good layout, and this is what it is possible to have using context with TanStack, Rails in the front end, and Node.js in the backend. In the future, maybe your team will move to use not keeping with uh, Ruby on Rails in the front end. But in the first moment, you need to keep with this because it's running without any problem. So let's keep with Hotwire to stream consuming from an API, and it's okay. It's running, but you need to have another application with React consuming this and the Node.js endpoint, but have real-time response. Okay, thank you. Bye.